and to imply that we should just ignore the impact that Caitlin Clark had on this team, this league, this sport. Nah, it doesn't work that way.
Caitlin Clark has just sent the WNBA world into a tailspin with news that could spell disaster for the entire league. The rumors of her potential move to Europe are growing louder, and if true, this could be a catastrophic blow to the WNBA, particularly the Indiana Fever, who have ridden her coattails to unprecedented success. But why would a star like Clark, who just finished a record-breaking rookie season, even consider leaving? Let's dig into the details and explore the real reasons behind this potential bombshell move. Caitlin Clark burst onto the WNBA scene like a comet, electrifying fans with her jaw-dropping performances. Coming off a stellar college career, Clark joined the Indiana Fever in 2024, immediately becoming the franchise's shining light. She didn't just meet expectations, she shattered them. With her unmatched scoring, lethal three-point shooting, and court vision, she dragged a once dormant Indiana Fever team out of the basement and into the playoff conversation. By the end of the regular season, the Fever were posting attendance numbers that rivaled some of the league's most established teams, all thanks to one player, Caitlin Clark. From her first game, Clark demonstrated that she wasn't just another rookie. Fans packed arenas to see her in action, with ticket sales skyrocketing, merchandise flying off the shelves, and TV ratings hitting all-time highs whenever she took the court. By August, her jersey was the top seller in WNBA history, overtaking the likes of Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Viewership for Fever games consistently topped over 1 million, with her game against the New York Liberty drawing a staggering 1.5 million viewers, a number previously unheard of for the WNBA. But with all this success came an enormous amount of pressure. Clark was expected to not only perform at an elite level, but also carry an entire franchise, and in many ways the league, on her back. Unfortunately, as the season wore on, cracks began to show. The Indiana Fever's playoff run ended in disappointment when they were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun in a gut-wrenching first-round series. While Clark played her heart out, scoring 29 points in the final game, it wasn't enough to overcome her teammates' lackluster performances. Fans were left fuming, wondering how someone as talented as Clark could be stranded with such minimal support. But what's more concerning is what happened off the court. Throughout the season, Clark had faced increasingly rough play, often being the target of physical fouls and dirty tactics from opponents. Despite this, referees rarely stepped in to offer her protection. It all came to a head during the Fever's playoff games, when Clark was physically targeted multiple times without any meaningful action taken by officials. Fans and analysts alike began to voice concerns about how the league was handling its brightest star. How could the WNBA expect to grow if it couldn't protect the player responsible for bringing in record crowds? This lack of protection wasn't just a bad look for the league, it was dangerous for Clark, who was clearly growing more frustrated by the game. The physicality of the games wasn't the only issue Clark had to contend with. Off the court, she was often the subject of online vitriol, with fans from opposing teams targeting her with baseless accusations and personal attacks. This came to a boiling point during the Fever's final playoff game, when a courtside fan began heckling Clark, prompting her to alert the referees. Security eventually removed the fan, but the damage was already done. What made this incident particularly egregious was the lack of response from the league. Caitlin Clark had single-handedly raised the WNBA's profile to new heights, yet the league seemed unwilling or unable to protect her from the toxic atmosphere that was building around her. The online abuse only worsened after the playoff loss, with some fans even questioning her ability to handle the physicality of the WNBA. This narrative, completely unfounded, only added fuel to the fire, but perhaps the most telling sign of Clark's frustration came in the post-game interviews. When asked about her performance and the physicality she faced, Clark didn't hold back. She openly criticized the league's officiating, stating,
I feel like I'm getting hammered.
I feel like I'm getting hammered and opponents get away with things that other people don't. It's frustrating. This wasn't the first time Clark had voiced concerns about the way she was being treated on the court. Throughout the season, she had frequently been the victim of cheap fouls and rough play, but little was done to address these issues. The league's response, or lack thereof, only deepened her frustrations. For a player of Clark's caliber, these frustrations can quickly turn into career-altering decisions. It's no secret that European leagues offer top players more lucrative contracts and, in some cases, better treatment. And now, with rumors swirling about a potential move overseas, many are beginning to wonder if Clark has had enough of the WNBA's failure to protect its star players. The prospect of Caitlin Clark leaving the WNBA would be nothing short of a financial disaster for the league. Since her arrival, the Fever have seen an unprecedented surge in ticket sales, merchandise, and viewership. The numbers speak for themselves: a 400% increase in ticket sales, with the Fever drawing over 15,000 fans per game. This level of success has brought millions of dollars into the league's coffers, and much of it can be attributed directly to Clark's star power. But if Clark were to leave, the WNBA would be staring down the barrel of a financial crisis. Losing a player of her magnitude would mean more than just losing ticket sales. It would mean losing the face of the league. Without Clark, it's unlikely the Fever, or the WNBA as a whole, could sustain the momentum they've built. It's not just about money either. Clark has brought a new level of excitement to the WNBA, drawing in fans who might not have otherwise been interested in the league. Her departure would leave a massive void, one that the WNBA would struggle to fill. So why would Caitlin Clark even consider leaving the WNBA for Europe? The answer lies in the opportunities that European leagues offer top players. For one, the pay is often significantly higher, with top teams offering lucrative contracts that far exceed what players can earn in the WNBA. But it's not just about the money. European leagues also offer a different style of play, one that might be more suited to Clark's game. In Europe, the focus is often on skill and finesse, rather than the physicality that dominates the WNBA. For a player like Clark, who thrives on her shooting and playmaking abilities, this style of play could allow her to reach new heights in her career. Additionally, European teams often provide better support systems for their players, from top-notch medical care to more lenient travel schedules. There's also the allure of international fame. While the WNBA is growing in popularity, European leagues, particularly in countries like Spain and Turkey, offer players a chance to compete on a global stage. For someone as competitive and ambitious as Clark, the chance to test her skills against the best players in the world could be too tempting to pass up. Caitlin Clark's potential departure should be a wake-up call for the WNBA. If they can't protect their star players and offer them the support they need, more will follow in Clark's footsteps. The league needs to take immediate action, starting with addressing the issues surrounding officiating and player protection. If they fail to do so, they risk losing not just Clark, but other top players as well. The WNBA has already faced criticism for how it handles its stars. Players like Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson have voiced similar frustrations about the league's officiating. And if the WNBA doesn't take these concerns seriously, they could find themselves in a talent drain, with top players heading overseas for better opportunities. In the end, the WNBA's future hinges on how they respond to this crisis. Will they step up and make the necessary changes to keep their star players happy? Or will they continue to ignore the warning signs, only to watch as their brightest stars leave for greener pastures? Caitlin Clark's potential move to Europe is more than just a player leaving a team. It's a disaster in the making for the WNBA. The league cannot afford to lose someone of her caliber. And yet, if they don't address the issues that have pushed her to this point, they could face an exodus of talent that would set the league back years. The clock is ticking, and the WNBA needs to act fast. If they fail to protect their star players and offer them the support they need, Caitlin Clark's move to Europe could be just the beginning of a much larger problem. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more WNBA topics and updates, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.